Today is the first day after I've posted my first vlog, and it's incredibly liberating. The biggest difficulty was making it live and just letting it all hang out. I've interviewed my stepdaughter, Louise, who just broke her elbow and who is a total kick-ass.
Nothing will stop me doing it.
I know. I'm seriously blown away by your commitment to staying fit while you're injured. It's incredible. A few years ago, she moved to Malawi. She was casting about for an internship and got one with a company called Malawi Mangoes, which happened to be one of the world's largest growers of organic fruit, with a large agricultural operation in Malawi, Africa. She was charged with devising and implementing a major CSR program, teaching and funding local communities to pursue best practices in permaculture. The idea behind that was to break the cycle of malnutrition and education so that young kids could attend school.
The reason why people starve is because they rely on one crop, which is maize. You can imagine with climate change, if the rains come late or early, or if they come in torrential rains and cause floods, that one harvest, which the whole country is dependent on, is damaged. And then the whole country falls into disarray, and the donors come in and give more money.
So what other deleterious consequences are there of this mono-agriculture culture?
Horrific amounts of malnutrition. Because the lack of education, people equate the feeling of being full with having eaten well. Over 50% of all children in Malawi are stunted. Also, the high incidence of malaria means that they don't have any of the natural strength and immunity that a healthy person would have. And it doesn't only affect their physical body, it actually affects their cerebral development.
If the country was properly irrigated, could this have been prevented or
Of
no?
course, you can grow anything with irrigation. Every single year, billions of dollars are poured in humanitarian aid because crops has failed, mainly because of lack of water.
Okay.
And it's ironic because there is one of the largest water sources only a few kilometers from where people are starving. You look at the people who are experts in the world, you look at people like Israel who grow things in the desert and they don't have any water to begin with.
Okay.
So basic infrastructure like drip irrigation.
Why hasn't this been implemented?
Because the money is too busy being poured into ridiculous pineapple projects.
Now, by the way, is that a term of art in the NGO world, pineapple projects?
No, it was just the
It's
pineapple
an excellent,
example.
It's an excellent catchphrase.
Aid is actually what's keeping the continent back. Take Madonna. All of the photos that she'll take when she's there, she will try and pinpoint, she will go to the poorest village that has experienced a drought and will literally focus in on the image that you see all over the press, which is the poor starving African child with flies in its eyes. And this is the image that she brings back to the West. And this is an image of Africa which is everywhere.
Clearly, imagery like that is emotionally exploitative, but you're saying that it perpetuates pernicious stereotypes about developing nations.
Yeah. You're never shown the amazing farmers or the entrepreneurs or the university-educated Malawian. There is still a lot of poverty in Malawi, and it's widespread. In the past 7 years, there's been $14 billion of aid.
Oh my God.
And within that same time period...
Yeah, what's the GNI? How much?
7%.
Oh my God.
7%.
Wow.
Instead of the billions or millions of dollars going into infrastructure and activities and structures that can actually create economic growth and jobs, it's all gone into dead-end projects.
You mean like trophy projects which sound good to donors, but which actually have no long-term benefits for the community?
I'll give you a really concrete example. So over the course of 3 years, they taught these women how to grow a lot of different types of tropical fruit. So by the end of it, they had irrigation, were producing, some really incredible produce.
Okay.
But the NGO hadn't done the other side of the equation of who are they going to sell it to. And then you go back 6 months later, and the project's dead. No one's growing anything anymore because they couldn't turn a profit because the rest of the community are so poor that they had no one to buy.
Right.
To buy the produce. And so
Right.
the project died.
Okay.
And that's 2.5 million and 3 years of work extinguished.
Donors are kind of stupid, though, sometimes. Sometimes donors want to
Yeah.
hear that their money went straight into a library of 52 books in a van, which went to this village and blah, blah, blah. And they don't understand that in order to make the ROI really positive,
Yeah.
that maybe 5 to 7% of the overall grant needs to be dedicated to funding these consultants. So what you want to do, if I had to sum it up, you want to eliminate the pity factor.
100%.
You think it's actually one of the main things holding back the dynamism or just introducing vitality to these economies, which largely people have written off. Hey, I'm in Hong Kong today. I just wrapped the edit of this vlog post, and I originally intended this vlog post to be no more than 2 minutes. And then, as I was editing it, I realized that I was undergoing this major shift in my own thinking, and why give it short shrift? Why not share the entire thing with everybody? When I was 40 years old, I remember that I had never encountered a single person working in the NGO, charity, nonprofit, philanthropic space, and I used to think these people were from Mars. I used to think that they wore Birkenstocks, never wore makeup, never shaved their armpits, and that they were an alien species. So I wanted to share with you and introduce you to somebody who is in this world with which most of us don't have any daily contact. So this is a tribute to all those people who are boiling the ocean every day.